Hello, everybody. My name is Fiorella Gomez Sanchez, and I am the Vice President of Under Armour. I am here with the Marketing Director of Sports Illustrated, Zainab Forhat.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. And Amanda Reyes, which is the blogger from StepIn.com.
It's a pleasure.
The reason we decided to do this discussion panel is because we've been getting a lot of questions from consumers and just viewers about fashion and technology in sports. So I decided to pretty much ask these lovely ladies to join me and answer your questions, give you some more details, and just pretty much talk about where we're going with our products and where you would see us in the next year or so, let's say. So, ladies, want to begin?
Mm-hmm. Larry Cap from Minnesota has asked, how has sports fashion evolved? It's a really good question because uniforms didn't start till the 20s, and back then synthetic fibers weren't invented yet. Those were invented in the 30s. So back then in the 20s, all they used was wool and cotton. And basically, their shoes were the Converse high tops, which is the flat sole with the canvas. Since they were high top, they kind of helped with the ankle injuries.
The support, right?
Yeah. And another aspect is women's uniforms were long skirts and sandals.
Oh,
wow.
That?
Can you imagine
How do you
that?
play like that?
Okay.
But,
Crazy.
I mean, it's evolved since then.
Oh,
a lot.
definitely. All right. Since you were talking about cotton and wool, I think that it was pretty much the 1890s where canvas smocks were pretty much replaced by these textiles, and they thought it was very beneficial to them because of the color. They were able to brighten their uniforms up by using these textiles. But one thing they didn't realize is that it absorbed sweat, it absorbed rain, and what does this do? This weighs down for the players. So it doesn't allow them to perform to the best of their ability. It weighs them down. They can't run. So basically, now what do we have? 100% polyester, which is a breathable mesh, and also open arms with double ply.
Better movement.
Definitely.
Much better.
It helps them a lot. The material is very breathable. It's a lot better for the players, essentially. And another huge change, which I was reading about the other day, was the numbers in the jerseys.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty much around the 1960s when they first came out with the numbers, but only in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably like the 1930s when they decided to put the numbers on the front and the back.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is just a little bit of, changes.
Yeah.
But of course, with technology and the evolution of everything,
Everything gets better.
It does get better.
the advances are incredible today. And that's pretty much what we're going to get into.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And, it's funny you guys say that. We look at it all the way from the 20s, and in today's world, we would never think women would have been playing in, like, a
skirts
skirts
and
and
sandals.
sandals, and it's wonderful. And sports and fashion has gone such a long way. And even today's world, we have some of the major top fashion designers working in the sportswear lines.
Yeah.
Like, we have Stella McCartney working with Adidas. Her third collection with them, and she's creating from gear all the way to shoes. And I think this is something so great because it's expanding the audience. And not only that, but we also have Alexander McQueen, who's collaborating with Puma. And, this is so great. I think this is something wonderful, and it's really has evolved.
Yeah.
It's great.
I also heard Rachel Roy is making basketball T-shirts and long
heard. Yeah, I
sleeves.
did.
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
really good.
So
Definitely.
It's good.
It adds a lot.
It adds flavor
It
to
adds
it.
character,
Yeah.
a little.
Absolutely, I agree. And I think that's wonderful. And so let's go to our next question.
All
Ladies
right.
ready? Okay. So Stu Phillips from Rhode Island wants to know, do you ladies think technology in sports fashion is beneficial to players? I'll go ahead and answer this one
All right.
first. And Stu, I do believe that technology in sports fashion is beneficial to the players just because not only is it motivating to the player, but it is also to the team. It kind of keeps them collect in kind of a unison. And whether it be that uniform, that it regulates, your temperature, and it checks your optimizing levels at all points, or whether it be that shoe that gives you that extra comfort.
yeah.
these are essential pieces. They're beneficial. They help you perform. They keep you healthy and they keep you motivated. And so I think this is great. I think this is something wonderful, right?
What people don't see is like even the smallest detail like helps a player. Like
Absolutely.
like a sock. Like who would think a sock would help a player, but it does. Under Armour has made these socks that ultimately they work in sync with the sports shoes, and they help they help with the ankle and the actual foot, with the running and the jumping and the landing, preventing injuries and the soreness. It's unbelievable. Like a sock.
A sock.
Like who would think a sock would do
That's
that?
funny that you just mentioned that. We actually just came out with another product, which is a mouth guard. You know, we've been using mouth guards for so many years, but pretty much just, you know, in the protection so that our athletes don't bite their tongues while, you know, they have a collision or so forth.
Yes.
But believe it or not, there was actually tests done that when these athletes are, you know, biting and clenching their teeth and pretty much, you know, biting down on them, there is an excess production of sapping hormones, which is cortisol. And what it does is it gives them more stress. It doesn't allow them to, you know, their
full potential.
Yeah.
Exactly,
That's not
and
good for the
they
player.
can't breathe correctly. So what we came out with is these mouth guards. It's two. There's top and then there's bottom. The top one are basically for contact sports such as hockey and football, lacrosse.
That's
Gotcha.
good.
And then even bottom ones, which are non-contact sports like yoga,
I think that's so wonderful.
definitely, baseball, running. So, you know, it definitely helps them. It helps them breathe better. And then it also aids in oxygen exchange and reduction of lactic acid.
That's
So,
awesome.
I mean, minor detail, you
It's
know?
wonderful. And you know what? Something else, too, you should know. As much as this is beneficial to the players, it's also very beneficial to the distributors creating all these wonderful products because essentially at the end of the day, you have consumers buying these pieces because they see their role models and their icons using all of these products and they think this is the best of the best.
Exactly.
And it is affordable and they are great pieces.
Of course. And
you
what,
know?
I mean, what better way of,
Exactly.
you know, putting your product out there.
Exactly.
And it's funny you mentioned that because this ties in with the next question from Stephanie Walsh from Orlando. And it's how has technology been used to improve sports shoes and what materials are used? And in addition to what you were saying, we recently signed a contract with Cam Newton, the NFL player.
I've heard.
And our contract was basically we developed 4 shoes. And he wore all of them throughout the year. And, you know, whichever one worked best for him, we decided to actually put out there. So he ended up choosing the UA Highlight MC football cleat. Basically, I don't know if you ladies know, but back in the days, the cleats were very unstable. There was no stability at all. So players, you should put tape around it for support. So we decided to come out with a shoe. It's kind of like a boot.
Okay.
And the upper part of the shoe delivers a snug feeling and an extra boost of speed. Then you also have a 4D foam at the bottom. And basically, it comforts to your foot and it has a cleat pressure reduction. So, you know, it helps the player in every which way it can.
You see things like that, I think they're so wonderful. And you see, as we keep going on throughout the conversation, you see how it's evolved.
Exactly.
I think it's wonderful. And so,
I don't know if you ladies want to talk about the materials.
sure, absolutely, we'd love to. Would you?
One of the materials today that are actually, like, they've been used, obviously, like, through the years. It's not something new, but it's actually been very beneficial. And, like, obviously it's still used today because it's actually really good as Kevlar. Because it's really strong. Like, it's tougher than leather. So a lot of, like, shoe companies are using that, like, today, like, not in just, like, sports, like, basketball and, like, football, but, like, sports from, like, all around the world, like, Olympics and, like, everything. They use Kevlar because it's really tough.
Also, another material that they use in almost every sportswear shoe is polyurethane.
Yes.
And I think it's a great material. I'm so happy to hear that. And not only that, it's that unique material. It basically offers you, you know, that toughness and that durability. And what it is, it's rubber, and it's elasticity. It's very flexible,
Yeah.
but it's tough and it's durable and it's comfortable for the.
And that's
For
what
the
these
athletes,
players need
that's what they
because,
need.
you know, they're
They need
going...
a shoe that won't stretch. It'll
Exactly.
stay like right where it is. It doesn't like stretch because of water or
Right.
like
No,
No,
absolutely.
definitely. And you know,
And
these
so-
players are playing under these snow,
Yeah.
rain.
whatever
Exactly.
it may be.
Any kind
They
of weather, they're doing it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, in that polyurethane, there's two kinds, and then you have the foam blown polyurethane, which gives the foot that extra cushioning,
Mm-hmm.
and then you also have the thermoplastic, which is it's more pliable and it's more strong, which is it's
That's
great.
good.
It's good that we're providing our players with this stuff. So I think that's
Definitely.
great. And so, let's go
On to the next question.
Okay.
Okay. Andrew Rodriguez from Cleveland asks, "What are some of today's top football helmets?"
Oh,
It's a really good question.
That is a good
definitely.
question.
My opinion is the Ion 4D from Schutt. It's basically, it has a cushion that is, it maximizes airflow around the actual helmet,
Okay.
and it has ventilation systems on the top of the shell to, it lets the heat like out, and like obviously you're not hot and sweating in there,
Right.
so they're comfortable. There's also an antimicrobial cushion, so there's no bacteria, no mold. It's easy to clean. It's sanitary. It's really good. Not only that, because regular cushion, like in the old days, they used to get really dirty and mold, and they would actually
Of
have to
course.
replace it. So they're actually spending
Bacteria.
more
You
money.
know, they're sweating in their
Exactly.
helmets.
Creating
They're wearing these
bacteria.
every day.
And one of the great things about this helmet is once you put it on, there's no break-in point. So
Oh, okay.
they don't have to like actually have to break in. It's like
Just
it's
automatically.
instant comfort.
Okay, perfect.
So
That's
that's
great.
really good.
Mhm.
There's also the first face guard that is integrated into the actual helmet. So it absorbs 50% more shock from like frontal.
Right.
Okay.
So that's really good.
Definitely.
And it's used with titanium, which is lighter, and it's actually stronger than steel. So
Okay.
That's great.
All right. Well, we haven't come up with a helmet yet, but as we all know, Under Armour safety. You know, that's
Safety.
a big
That is their
safety.
vision.
Definitely. So I'm gonna have to go with the Xenix XI, and basically, this helmet was designed by a Harvard student who used to be a football player, and he wanted something that was going to prevent concussions because as we all know, football players, they suffer from
Yeah.
so many head injuries,
Yeah.
and this is something that later on in the future catches up with
It's
them.
very dangerous.
So we need to prevent these things from happening now,
Yeah.
so in the future they don't have any issues.
Right.
So basically, how all helmets have always been, and they've always have had padding, but it's that hard padding.
yeah,
It doesn't fit to their head. So
it's just there.
exactly.
Right. It's
And when
there's
they-
exactly.
they
There's
hit,
that.
they're still feeling an impact in their head. So what Zenith decided to do is they came out with a helmet that has shock guards all around it. So it's like these little cushions. So no matter where you hit it, your head is still going to stay in there. It's not going to move around, and it's soft. The outside is hard, the inside is soft. So it's going to move around, and it's custom built to your head. So
I think that's
That's
wonderful.
perfect.
Awesome.
it's lightweight. I mean,
It
and
absorbs
the
the
players,
impact.
The players love it.
That's funny you say that because a lot of the qualities, the helmet that I've personally seen that has had a lot of great feedback through Sports Illustrated is Brittle. And as you all know, that is the official helmet for the
Yeah,
entire NFL.
NFL.
You know, and it's something that it's known, it's well known, it's just known for its great quality of a helmet. And besides the usual, the aggressive Revo Spree, the speed, the Revo Speed, it's
Yeah.
like something that it's just that has that shell profile. It's very intact, so I think that's great. And it also has that inflatable back, neck, side padding, which is great for the head inside as well. But what keeps this specifically helmet
Uh-huh.
so special within all of the competition is the new innovation, which is the patent head impact telemetry system. And basically what this does, this
sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
this is amazing. It records every single frequency and severity of impacts that the player goes through. So basically, if a player receives throughout a game a big impact, or he gets rushed, or something, he gets hurt, automatically this will detect all the information, all the data, and I think it's something so great. It measures the location, the magnitude, the duration, and the direction of the head impact. This is not only great for their future reference, as because you want to be in touch with your health and your body, and these are all very tough games. So this is also wonderful for the medical staff and the coaches to keep it in record. And I think this is such a great innovation from Riddle. I think this is something wonderful.
That's great for the medical staff because they know exactly right then and there, like
where they have to treat.
Exactly. They don't have to be like searching and asking like, oh, what hurts? Like they automatically know.
Yeah, it automatically grabs the data and they have it there stored and it's wireless.
That's
it's
awesome.
wireless. Isn't that amazing? The way technology has just completely grown. So, okay.
All right. So next question.
Last question is from Amy Schwartz from Las Vegas. Nice. What are new and upcoming products that consumers don't know about? This is a good one. This is a great closing question.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Who wants to go first? I'll go first.
Okay.
One of the products that have been known recently has been the Nike like lifestyle, the little chip that they put in the shoes, and it sends you back data like to your iPhones. Okay. They recently just made an Adidas Social football boot, which is basically for like football players while they're training and like running back and forth. It shows you like the distance, how fast you're moving. And it submits the data wirelessly to your iPhone, your tablet, let's say like your computer, like it's all there, so they can keep track, like the previous question, like they keep track of everything,
right?
Their times, their distance, traveled, everything. And there's also Adidas has come up with one now for basketball, which is kind of the same like aspect, but in the sense that this measures like your vert. Your jump, your height, everything. And this one is done, like, instantaneously, like, right away, like, on time.
Data grabs.
Yes.
That is awesome. Well, you talk about the shoe, I'm going to talk about our performance tee, which is obviously what we're known for.
Of course.
We came out with the E39, E standing for electric, and basically what it is our performance tee that we've always had, but in the center of the chest, it has a removable sensor, which is equipped with a processor, a 2 gigabyte of storage, and a triaxial accelerometer. So basically,
fancy.
Basically, what this does is it monitors and measures your heart rate, your breathing, your individual movements, your biometric data. I mean, everything and anything. So this is good for you because it you can keep track of yourself and what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Scouts. Coaches, I mean, what better way for a coach, to have all the data and, you need to work on this, you need to do this. Exactly. Performance issues. This is our biggest thing. Performance issues. You want to make sure you're hitting those spots. So this is...
See what your weaknesses are, what your strengths are. I think this is all very important for an athlete.
Definitely.
And, well, mine, which I think is... I think it's a pretty great invention coming out. It's going back to Nike. It's the Vapor Strobe. And so this is a performance kind of eyewear. And basically what it is, it's incorporated with LCD lenses. And basically these are incorporated into regular performance glasses. And what it is it kind of... How do I explain this? What these performance eyewear glasses do for you is they kind of blur out your ability to see, right? So let's say you can't see, right?
Okay.
Basically, what this makes the player do is to use his senses, not only by vision, not only by seeing, but by feeling, by hearing, and so you practice your skill this way.
Exactly.
For example, tennis or basketball or shooting, or you kind of play and practice. This is mostly used for practice.
Of course, you're not going to have this during
obviously. And so you use this and you kind of learn to hear and to go here and to here because you're feeling it and you're
Exactly.
sensing it. And I think this is a wonderful thing because we can't only rely on our vision.
Exactly.
When you're out in the field, you can't only rely on the vision. You have to feel it out.
You have
your
to feel like who's
instincts.
behind you,
Exactly.
who's next to you.
And this is
And
wonderful.
taking
This
this
is a
away,
wonderful
you know,
Exactly.
use those senses
Exactly.
more. So when you're ready for that game,
Right.
you're using
Everything's
you're
up.
using everything.
Exactly. And this is mostly used in football because it's not really football, and then we'll have like a little bit of tennis and a little bit of basketball. But in other sports, it's not really used.
Exactly.
But it's funny because I actually met up with Mark Sanchez from
the
the
Jets
Jets.
player.
He came to do an interview with for Sports Illustrated for this month's article, and so I asked him his take on it because he was one of the few players that got to test these out. And his words were, once you take the strobes off and get all the information back, it's a joke. It really helps you with timing. It likes throwing with your eyes closed at times, so it really makes you focus and get comfortable by executing with less information. And so this
That's
goes back to
amazing.
just what I said. This is great for the player. You know, this is great for the athlete to get in tune with his other senses besides his vision. And I think these are all such wonderful innovations that you consumers should be so excited about. I think they're
Definitely.
great.
And I can't even believe what is going to happen maybe in the next
the
year.
future.
The
I
next
mean,
5-10 years.
think
the
about
next
so
year.
much that come
It's,
around.
you know,
It's crazy.
it's
but
wonderful.
thank you, ladies,
It's been
so
such a
much for
pleasure.
joining us today.
Such
I
a
hope
pleasure.
we answered all your questions, and you have a little bit more of a feel of where we're going and how we're doing things,
Absolutely.
and just keep in contact with us. Email us your questions. We're always here to answer everything.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
you guys have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Boom.